Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. So today I would like to just kind of sit back, and I have some new makeup products that were gifted to me, and I have a new foundation that I kind of want to play around with. So we are just going to jump right on in, get ready, chat about life. Starting off with my beloved Ren Perfect Canvas. Now, this for sale is still going on, right? And on my wish list, I had spoken about the Cover FX Gripping Primer, and I had tried a bit of that in the store. And I actually feel like this primer kind of has that same effect, whereas your skin is left a little bit tacky after application, but that is so that your foundation can really be glued to your face. And I really enjoy the ingredient lineup in this serum. It feels very skin-like to me. I don't feel like I'm putting an extra layer of, like, say, a makeup product on my face. This is also silicone free, which I have found has been very helpful in preventing breakouts for me. So the foundation I'm going to be playing with today is the Chanel, I believe it's called the Ultimate. It's like this long lasting foundation. It's supposed to have like a natural finish. I've worn it a few times and I have to say it is really nice. I'm going to give it a go obviously in the summer to see like longevity and things like that, because right now it's still it's pleasant out. It's warm, but it's pleasant. So I have two colors. I have no idea what they are because I just helped myself to some samples at Nordstrom, which I really like that they started doing that. I hadn't noticed that prior, like you had to ask, but now they have all these little empty jars out. I'm like, that is so nice. You don't have to be, approached by someone if you're not interested in buying. You just want to get a sample. I want to say this is in the B10 to... It's not the BD undertone. This is definitely the more neutral undertone, and I think the other one I have is like B21 or something like that. But the consistency of this is very thin. It's a nice, lightweight, thin. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put the darker shade on the outside just to create a little natural contour here, I guess. But it feels very thin, but within that thin consistency, it does offer some pretty great coverage. I think it actually claims full coverage, but I don't know. It doesn't feel heavy or thick or mask-like at all. It's just really lovely formula, actually. It does not have SPF in it, which we asked the lady I was shopping with, Jelena, and we asked the lady, does this foundation have SPF? She's like, I don't know, let me look. And she's like, no, it doesn't. And I was like, yay. We both were like, yay. Because I don't rely on an SPF in a foundation to protect me anyways. And I don't even understand why they put it in necessarily, because if you're like me and you react to certain types of sunscreens, that's kind of annoying and can be difficult to find a foundation that doesn't have an SPF in it, because a lot of them do. B, if you're doing any sort of photography, you don't necessarily want to have all that high SPF in there because it can create a really gross, like ghost-like flashback to the skin. And I just find it really unnecessary. I like to have the control over my SPF and when I apply it and how much I want. Actually, it's currently raining out right now and I actually love it. I love it. It's just, I love a good rainy day. I've been so productive today, getting laundry done, doing a little bit of food prep. All right, I'm going to go in with the Cover FX Power Play Concealer. Now this shade I bought in the winter, and I know this is going to be way too light for me in the summer. This is the shade N Light 1. I'm actually going to cover up some brown spots I've been noticing on my face here. Oh, and then this. This is the Sonia Kashuk sponge. Jelena left this with me. She said she really likes it. Now, it is huge, like compared to a beauty blender, which is about this big. This is huge. I like that it blends things in quickly because it covers so much surface area. But once again, it's the consistency. It's more firm and dense than the Beauty Blender is. Now, it works just as well. You can kind of see, let me turn this down a little bit. You can see the finish of the foundation. You can still see my freckling and stuff through, but it's just really pretty. And it has indeed lasted very well in my skin. Let's go in with a little Chanel setting powder here. I've had this forever. Like, forever. I don't use a lot of powder because it kind of, I don't know, I don't need a lot of powder, and I don't like the look of a powdery complexion. But I do indeed like to set my under eyes. Who's watching Game of Thrones? We're so excited because this upcoming week, probably after you see this actually, it's going to be an epic episode. What did my husband say? It's going to be almost an hour and a half long. It's going to be the most expensive like fighting war type scene ever shot in television history, I think he said. I think I have that right. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm very excited about it. It's going to be like a movie, honestly. And he's excited because, you know, he likes action things and so on and so forth. I'm not going to set the perimeter of my face today just because I don't think I need it. I'm really finding that this foundation, I could be kind of combo, especially when we add in humidity and it's just kind of hot and whatever. But lately, I have not been. I've been more dry. And so I'm going to skip doing that. And I'm committed to using this up this year. This is my NARS bronzer in Laguna, which I do really enjoy. And then my beloved, probably use that today too, Oasis blush here. I'm not a bronzer person. Like, I prefer like a certain color on my skin, right? Like some bronzers, like I've never gotten along well with the Benefit Hoola. It just was too almost like yellow on my skin. I didn't really like the undertone in that too much. And like I have bronzers that have been sitting in there for years. I don't use a lot of it. And so I'm not one that's like, ooh, I love bronzer. Like it does, like to me, this looks just the same as, well, okay, there's slight differences or whatever, but I'm just saying I'm not really someone who's really into bronzers and trying new ones or anything like that. I feel like my freckles, especially once it starts getting warm and my face gets some sun, my freckles add warmth to my skin. They add so much like bronzed look. And I kind of feel like at this point of the game, they're not just freckles that are showing up. They're more like straight up age spots. Woo! Just knocked it over. All right, let's just commit to the highlighter and blush and just get all the face done so we can move on to the eyes. I dug out deep today and I opened my drawer and I'm like, what haven't I used in a while? Or what haven't I used on camera with you guys, I should say. Because I'm always rotating my makeup. I've said this before, but when I go to do my makeup, right? Let me just show, I'm using the Becca Opal. That was the long intro, but let me just continue that conversation. I open my drawers and I rotate everything. So I will look for something I didn't use, let's say yesterday. Did I not grab? Well, let's just use this. This is the Real Techniques setting brush. Love this brush. Highly recommend you own it. You can do so much with it. I love this small size of it. I'm going to use it for highlight today. Anyways, I purposely use different things every day. Now, some things I don't have a lot of, like concealer, foundation, like those things I just have a limited supply in. We'll finish that conversation in a minute. Other things like blush, lipstick, lip liner, eyeshadow, basically all my colored products. I don't use the same thing every day because I feel like I bought all these. I need to give them all equal use. And I also get bored easily, and so using the same thing every day to me is very boring. Like I do not like to use the same palette 2 days in a row. Even when I'll like practice a look before filming it, you know, I actually struggle the day of filming because I'm like, I used this yesterday. I don't want to use this today. I want to use something else. Okay, so on that same thought or wavelength, with concealer and foundation, I used to buy and review and, you know, just always feel the need to try something different. Well, let me tell you the problem with that is I have one face and I cannot physically use it all up before it's going to expire or before it's like, okay, this has been open 2 years, maybe my face starts to react to it, and then I just feel sick about spending upwards of $50, $60, sometimes $70 on a foundation and then not using it. And so I don't like to buy a lot of those, and that's why you're not seeing a ton of reviews on my channel anymore because I'm spending my own money on it, first of all. And in the past, I would just do it. But now it's like I really have to think about, okay, can I swing this? Is this what I really want to put this money towards? And I know, like, okay, you have a channel, you should be reviewing. Yes, but I also have to be realistic about this. Like, I'm not at the status or at the level where I'm getting paid to do this. This is a complete hobby. And what is up with this hairdo? Okay. And basically, I like to buy all kinds of things. And of course, I want to be able to buy new outfits and shoes and stuff like that. So honestly, at this stage of the game, I'd rather just buy 1 or 2 foundations that I know are going to work and then put the money towards like a fabulous pair of shoes or a new outfit because I'm much more interested in that than I am makeup. Okay, so let's do the blush. I'm just going to commit to this blush. I didn't originally know what I was going to do, but I like this blush and let's just put it on. So this is Oasis by NARS. I believe this, I can safely say this is my favorite NARS blush. Now at this time of year, there's a peachy pink one. bumpy ride. I think it was last year or the year before I discovered that. I don't know if they made it permanent, but that's a beautiful one. But I just like this one because it gives you a nice natural berry flush to the cheeks. The under eyes look light today. That's okay. And this is the Wayne Goss cheek brush that I love. Another product I've dug out and I've been loving, I don't know why I put this on the back burner, but the Hourglass products, or this is their lighting ambient, oh come on Chelsea, read. Ambient lighting powder. This is the shade Mood Light. This helps cancel redness. Basically, these are just a nice finishing powder that leave a really pretty glow. Just kind of like seals the deal. Some of them really help add glow. Some of them are great setting, like for your under eyes, because they're just like a barely there powder. This brush is shedding. And I just have been really enjoying them. Now I'm going to spray my face with this Smashbox Primer Water, kind of like as a setting spray. Love this. I don't like the original scent that much, but I did notice on Ulta that they have 3 new scents this year. And this is silicone-free, alcohol-free, which alcohol is incredibly drying to your skin, and oil-free. I know all the bougie YouTubers have like a fan and all that, but I just use my hands. And also, it's kind of like a 2-for-1 because it kind of like works your arms at the same time. Now this right here is a product I don't know if I can ever veer from. I've had my curiosity, raised with some other more affordable drugstore options, but I gotta tell you, my brows throughout the day and with high heat especially, I don't want them disappearing or fading because I really, as you can see, need a brow. My natural brows, yes, I have hairs there, but they're kind of sparse, and just look how much this like euthanizes. No, that's not the word. Makes me look more youthful. It'd be terrible if I had to be euthanized. It just really makes my face look younger and just more youthful because it frames everything out. So basically what I'm saying is I can't risk my brow fading throughout the day because I feel like without my brow I look a little bit more like sickly and slightly unwell. I also want to try these Essence Melted Chrome shadows. I've used them already, but try them with you so you can see them. Let me just they're great. They're $5 a piece. They are beautiful. They did not fade. I obviously used a primer, but they did not fade. They did not crease. They did not look any less brilliant when I went to wash my face than when I had first applied them. So definitely give those a try because $5 shadows, they're really fantastic. Alright, so I just grabbed my Lorac Pro palette here, and I was thinking about doing just a little something matte in the crease before we add in some gorgeous lid shades. So one of my favorite colors in this palette is this mauve shade right here. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of that. I'm still absolutely in love with this palette. This was the first, I remember the day I bought this palette. It was, okay, I had 2 children. I had a huge double stroller. Not like some of the fancy ones you see now, but like an old Graco that was all the stroller was double going single, not next to each other, but whatever the word is. And it was my first time going to an Ulta store. I had never heard of Ulta. This was probably in, I want to say it had to have been either late 2012 or early 2013, but I want to say maybe late 2012. I was new to watching YouTube. So it totally opened my eyes to a bunch of makeup I had never heard of, brands I had never heard of. I was previously, I had nice makeup. I had gone to the Lancome counter, the Clinique counter, and then I had Mary Kay. So those were the 3 brands I was familiar with. Avon too. And so I wasn't familiar with the drugstore. I never really shopped at the drugstore. And I really just had heard about Ulta, and I had heard about, all these high-end palettes, watching people use them. I didn't have a clue how to do eyeshadow. I basically just would do a shimmery shade on the lid. I didn't really know what to do with the matte. Sometimes I'd do matte on the lid, but that wasn't my thing. I've always done eyeliner and mascara and that kind of thing. So anyways, I remember this day because I spent way too much time there laboring. But if it's your first time walking into a makeup store and you're not familiar with brands, eyeshadows, palettes, I didn't have any of that. I just had some single Mary Kay shadows. and a couple like Lancome singles, and then I also had, I think I had a Clinique duo or something like that. But I wasn't really familiar, but I knew that, man, everyone on YouTube is using these palettes. And if you have a palette, you can create all these different looks. And to me, when I went in there and I started looking at all of them, I was completely overwhelmed. And then after I looked at the palettes, I started looking at the prices. And I was like, wow, a makeup palette is $50? Like, that was shocking to me. Because it wasn't something I was educated in. I didn't understand it. I hadn't really played with it a lot to really develop a love for the creativity aspect of it, or just anything. And so I remember just laboring back and forth over what to get. And I was debating between the Naked palette and this. And I ended up going with this because this is coming from a completely uneducated, or just my thoughts on why I bought this was because I liked that it had matte shades and it had shimmery shades. I was familiar with the shimmery shades, but I knew from watching video tutorials that I needed to familiarize myself with matte shades in order to really pull together a look. And so I thought, well, there's different colors in this. They're all pretty neutral. They're all things that I would probably wear. I was a little scared of these dark shades, still kind of am. And so I ended up going with this. But I remember my kids did so well in the store. I had brought lots of snacks. I had probably been there, I kid you not, for easily an hour and a half just going round and round the aisles. But you know, I had never seen any of those brands or any of that stuff, so I had to like look at everything. It was all so exciting and overwhelming at the same time, and I really wanted to learn, and I wanted to know how to do pretty makeup. I'm actually going to take the same brush, because this is another old habit of mine, same brush, and I'm going to dip into this light pink shade and just kind of put that in the same area a little bit. I love this light pink shade in here. It's such a soft whisper of pink, but by golly, it really brightens things up. My early days of watching YouTube were, most of my YouTube watching occurred in the middle of the night, because once I discovered that I could watch YouTube instead of QVC, because I would always put QVC on when I would wake up in the night to nurse my kids, because I would fall asleep otherwise. Well, I wouldn't fall asleep, but you know, it's just something to do while you're nursing instead of just laying there and hopefully not falling asleep, but I did do that a few times too. But I would watch, actually I remember watching a lot of Stephanie Lowry. I think that's how you say her last name. Love her. She does upload from time to time now, but now she does a lot of like house decor things too. But at the time she did like beauty type videos. And I just felt like I could really relate to her because she's from Michigan, or lives in Michigan. And I just felt like, hey, you know, I'm from Wisconsin, same difference, you know. Actually, Michigan gets a lot more snow. Who am I to talk? I've been away for 10 years now, so it's not like I am up on how much snow the north gets. But I'd watch videos, make my list on my phone, constantly like a running list of things to try. And now it's almost the opposite. Like, I do, like, put things in my loves list and whatever, but it's like I've tried so much now that you almost have to wait for something new to come out in order to see something that interests you, because everything else in the store you've either swatched, got a sample of, owned, tried, loved, liked, hated, returned, you know what I mean? Okay, so I have 4 shades. I'm not going to use this color today, but this color is called Platinum Nights. We'll use this in another video, but oh my gosh, it is gorgeous. And this one as well would be really pretty for like a fiery summer look. This one's called Copper Me. Oh my gosh, on blue eyes, that's going to be gorgeous. But today I want to use these two. This one is called Zinc About You. It's like a gorgeous mauve color. And then this one is called Ironic. Oh my gosh, which one do we want to primarily do? Okay, so I'm going to use this one first. And I'm going to apply this to like the outer portion of my lid. Good golly, that is stunning. Now I'm going to take this one. What is this one? This is the Ironic shade, which is a little more of like a chrome platinum kind of color. And that's going to be my inner corner highlight. And I think I'm going to take this espresso shade because this one's a little too warm. So I want to stick with the cooler, just more neutral tones, and just dab a little bit of that out here. I'm gonna take a little bit of the Milk Makeup Longwear eyeliner. This is the shade Boss, which is black. This stays really well in my waterline, so I'm gonna do my upper lash line with this. Little Chanel Volume Mascara here. Here is the finished eye look. I think that these shadows are phenomenal. All right, so obviously this look would benefit from a pretty mauve nude lip. It's just screaming that. Or you could do like a pretty, let me fix my hair a little bit. You could do like a pretty pink or a light pink or something, but I have a new lip product that I hold. I hold it with Jelena. I haven't worn it on camera yet, and I totally want to, so we're gonna do it today. It's gonna take this more neutral look in a whole new direction, but just bear in mind, you can do whatever color works for you. But okay, so I'm gonna line my lips first with the MAC Pro Longwear Lip Liner in the shade Fashion Boost. This is a gorgeous color, especially if you wear more bolder lip choices. Lightly lined. Now this is the Smashbox Gloss Angeles in the shade Sheen Rider. Do you see all the gorgeous sparkles in that? So this is their newer gloss line. There's lots of shades to choose from, but this particular one is simply stunning. Do you see all the sparkles and dimension in this? Are you kidding me? It's so opaque too that you can wear it without a lipstick. Like, I would just wear this on its own. It is absolutely stunning. Okay, so this is the finished look. Let me just run over the newer products that I used. The Chanel foundation, it's gorgeous. I highly recommend getting a sample. I think it will work with many different skin types. I guess I don't know right now what the specs on it are, but just from like not knowing, just simply by using the item and just being able to tell you based on what I've gathered versus what the internet tells you about the foundation, it's beautiful. I think it looks really skin-like, but yet I've got some decent coverage from this. Those eyeshadows, go get some. They're great. Check out this gloss formula. It's not sticky. You're going to get some opacity out of it. I think it's going to be a really great workhorse foundation, especially spring, summer when it's hot. You don't really want to mess with lipstick liner, all that kind of thing, but you want something that's going to give you some shininess, some coverage, some color. This is a fun color. Love it. So yeah, I think the three things that I just used today are definite winners. I think they're things worth taking a look at, especially since the sale is still going on. You can snag a few of these up. So thank you guys so much for getting ready with me. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and we will chat again very soon. Bye, guys.